The Vikings, a people known for their raiding and invading of lands across Europe, but they are also known for their explorations and colonies across many lands, particularly in North America, with the somewhat well-known outpost in Vinland, which was founded in 1000 AD by Leif Erikson and failed after less than a decade from multiple factors. And it leads us to ask the question, what if Finland was successful? What if the Vikings colonized North America? But first, some context. Vinland, as mentioned before, was discovered by Leif Erikson 1,000 years ago, in 1000 AD, and was named such after the great vines found there, making it the land of wine, aka Vinland, and founded a base called Leif's Camp. Well, it is called something else, but I am not going to pronounce that. And it existed there for a number of years before conflict with the Native Americans, or as the Vikings called them at the time, Swallings, drove them out. So, what would need to happen to allow the colony to survive and thrive there? First, they would need to have a more peaceful relationship with the Native Americans. Considering that they will always be the minority there, it is important that the Vikings maintain good relations with the Native Americans, because any conflict with them will wipe out the Vikings, even with their iron weapons. And chances are, due to the fact that they are at peace, trade will happen between them, which has massive implications, especially for the Native Americans. But I shall save that for later in the video. And one more important thing necessary to keeping the colony alive is continued contact and support from Europe, which was one of the reasons why the Norse colony in Greenland failed. And chances are that if it was to happen again in this timeline, the colony in Vinland would fall again. So, with that out of the way, what would happen in this alternate timeline? Vinland, in this timeline, would still remain, and over the centuries would expand to the neighboring islands, as its population would grow from both its original population and immigration, as I can imagine tens of thousands of people moving to the colony due to it being the land of wine. And who wouldn't want that luxury? The colonies in Greenland would still be around. Well, to some extent. Most would fail, considering there are too many factors against them. But there would be a small colonial base or outpost there, just to maintain the colonists moving to Vinland. And those who wouldn't be in Greenland would, chances are, move to Vinland instead of Iceland in this timeline. Around the colony, a growing mixed population would occur, as people from the colony would move out, at least mainly young men, and they would interact with the Native Americans. Speaking of the Native Americans, they would be massively impacted by trade, as I mentioned before, with the Vikings. Such things such as iron and livestock would be traded to the natives, and over the centuries would become commonplace in North America. But one more thing would also be traded to the natives, and that would be disease. And just like in our timeline, it would ravage the Native American population. The Vikings, however, wouldn't exactly rush in to fill the gap. Due to the way their ships work, even though they were incredible, they were terrible in the open seas and more suited for the coast, limiting the amount of people that could go there. And even though tens of thousands of people would go to Vinland, that would be over the centuries, and wouldn't exactly be a large amount to replace pretty much the entire Native American population. So, this would allow the Native American population to recover and rebuild, and this time with iron and horses, changing the North American continent forever. And when the other Europeans arrive, which would happen a few decades earlier, considering that Europeans would have some idea that there is land to the west. But when they arrive, they would find it harder to colonize, with a more disease-resilient population that is also armed with iron weapons, at least in North America. And with that, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please click the notification icon, and have a nice day.